What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 18 of the Omega Dudes. The Naked Cowboy arrested for panhandling. What? Also, gender neutralizing department stores so that kids can no longer know what clothes fit them. What in the hell is going on? Thank you guys so much for listening to that intro once again. If you haven't done so already, that little red button down beneath this video window right down there, just click it. It says subscribe. It actually means get a free prize, so just click it and find out what happens. If you like our content or if you dislike it, feel free to share. In fact, we'd like you to share it because it helps get the word out about this amazingly produced, utterly fantastic podcast, so do that for us. Click the like button. Delightful. Notification bell if you want to get notified, which obviously you do. And thanks for joining us. How's everybody's week been? Let me first say, it really sucks losing an hour of sleep. That just sucks.
Yes, I hate daylight savings time.
It is the worst.
Really do.
Well, when you ask us how our week is, and then you go right into daylight savings time, it makes me. I mean, It just makes me think that maybe you don't really care how our week is, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to throw that out there. I do. I really do. But I think everybody's week has been affected by this like equally. So I just wanted to throw that out because I knew everybody was going to want to say that first. And I just kind of,
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I always have.
There was one, there was one part of the campaign of a part of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign that I supported. And that was, I heard her one time at a town hall or something say that she was in favor of repealing the daylight savings time. And I said, now, I don't know if it'd be worth voting for Hillary Clinton, but man, I could get on board with that.
Almost.
I could get on board with that.
Hold on. Didn't Al Gore, her husband's vice president, claim to have invented that?
What hasn't that dude invented?
That was just the internet.
Yeah, he just invented the internet.
That was just the internet and,
My bad.
And Man Bear Pig.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for Florida to get on like the perpetual daylight savings time always so that we're just like the most, even more screwed up state. So
daylight savings time is such a joke. It's so arbitrary. It's unnecessary. I get off of work. I get off of work and I've got a solid half an hour right now before it gets too dark to do anything outside. Yeah, no, man. I am death to daylight savings time. 100%.
Absolutely cannot stand
it. See, that also depends on the part of the world you're in, man, because I'm in Texas. I've got an hour and a half, maybe, before it starts getting dark. So
let's be real, though. God's watch is set to Eastern Standard Time. I mean,
pretty much.
This is New York City time, the capital of the world. Sorry, I mean it sucks for everybody else, but Eastern Standard Time is the gold standard.
What I'd be in favor of is instead of falling back in November and then springing forward in March, why don't we just keep falling back? Just every year get an extra hour of sleep day.
Yeah.
And then it could be like nice. Do like a leap day or something, but backwards to catch up or whatever.
Jumps all the way forward. Yeah. I think, you know what? I'll even go one further. I think that we should abolish daylight savings time, but we should also abolish time zones. So, everything is Eastern Standard Time all around the world. I understand that in China, it'll be the middle of the night at, noon. But
alarm goes off.
Oh, we're going to inconvenience China and North Korea. That would be terrible.
Yeah. That would be horrible just for even people in like California versus, I mean, that's a few hours. Few hours, yeah.
You won't.
You saying all this like it's a bad thing, Chris?
I'm not saying it is a bad thing. They're already leaving in droves, so
might as well, right?
Yeah.
It's escape from LA status over there. A bunch of snake.
Yeah, what about the Naked Cowboy getting arrested during Bike Week? So I don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but it popped up on my feed and I just had to look. He got arrested for panhandling. Now, let's back up a second. The Naked Cowboy, he's not like celebrity, like movie star status, but I would consider him a national celebrity. Everybody knows who he is.
He's a household name.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is. He's not a panhandler, but apparently what happened is he was just doing his thing and people were putting money into the little sound port on his guitar and they considered that panhandling. And as he was trying to say, look, no, I'm not panhandling. In fact, I've been here for the past 21 bike weeks. They considered that resisting arrest and like used force on him and broke his guitar and everything.
So you started telling the story, and what went through my head was, oh, the cops went and they arrested the Naked Cowboy. Uncultured swine. Huh. That's why they call cops pigs.
Now, I'm not going to say that I hate all cops, but that right there is definitely unnecessary force for sure. Come on. Who doesn't know this guy?
I mean, there's a lot.
Apparently those cops.
Daytona's there. There's a lot going on in Daytona on Bike Week. I think
clearly they've never been to Bike Week.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of things to police there. I think they can probably overlook, regardless of who he is, a street performer who's doing entertainment. There's a big difference between that and panhandling.
Yeah, no joke.
Bike Week's
will
crazy.
work for food or whatever.
Have you guys ever been to Bike Week?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I was at one, but I want to say like 13, and I went with my parents and my sister. My sister had a baton tournament in Daytona. She's like a national champion, world champion baton twirler, or was back in the day. But so we were there for some baton competition. So we're staying in this hotel. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget it. I kept hearing this motorcycle, and we were on like the second floor, third floor. I come out and I'm going to get ice because they've got those ice machines tucked away in all the hotels. You got to go with your bucket and scoop ice in the bucket. I'm going to get ice, and I damn near got run over by this guy on a motorcycle. It just went flying down the hall, off the railing into the swimming pool.
Nice.
Never forget it.
Nice. Hey, that's a good story though. If that doesn't happen at Bike Week, I consider it a failed event. That's pretty sweet.
Well, I mean, it's just like you just hear about stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like you don't actually see that kind of stuff happen or experience that kind of thing. That's just stuff that happens in the movie. No, bro, definitely saw it.
Yeah, good for and then, hearing that, everybody out there should want to go to Bike Week at least once. I mean, where else do you see stuff like that?
And I'm not encouraging people to drive their motorcycles off of balconies either.
Only
it's really cool to see, but I'm not telling you to do it.
Yeah, but film it or a different didn't happen. Yeah. I got a visual in my head of when the Naked Cowboy, bails out of jail. And they give him, they've got all the stuff they went into jail with. You're gonna have your pants, and your shoes, and your shirt. He's gonna have one pair of tidy whities, one pair
broken
of boots.
Guitar.
No, his girlfriend took his broken guitar, so he didn't even have that. Just like a pair of boots and tidy whities, and this dude's
he
all
comes
like
walking out of the jail.
His hair is all jacked up. He's like. Hasn't slept in 3 days.
Yeah, definitely a panhandler.
Well, some old lady up in the balcony.
He just went to jail. Yeah. He just went to jail. He didn't go to prison. He didn't get a jumpsuit. This poor guy straight cell with Billy the Rapist in his tidy whities.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse if they put him in like a jumpsuit to sleep in while he's in jail or whatever, or if they just kept him in his boots and tidy whities. Like, I feel like that might even be worse. Because let me tell you, bro, were you wearing your tidy whities for 3 days? They ain't gonna be so white.
No,
and you take that however you want.
Yeah, no way.
County?
Come walking out of jail. You threw away your life, didn't you? I was waiting for the rest of that quote, Parrish. I had to put it in.
I wasn't sure if anyone was going to pick up that one.
I caught it. I was on that like a rabid wolf.
Get out of here, you bum.
Speaking of being on that like a rabid wolf, let's shuffle over to the whole Bath and Body Works brawl.
That was nuts.
Just this week in trailer trash.
Oh my gosh. We'll post a link. Yeah, we'll post a link to this one down in the description of this episode, just so you guys can see if you haven't already. But
it's not really good. Just pause this, open the link in a new window, watch that, and then come back.
Yeah, we don't need any like copyright stuff. But yeah, Chaz, explain this situation a little bit.
So basically, there's this lady in line at Bath and Body Works with her baby in a stroller. Okay, just got to preface that. She's there with her baby and her stroller. She's got the stroller off to the side, shielding the baby from everybody around, trying to social distance or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a group of people, they like a mother-in-law, a friend, and then the daughter-in-law, whatever. Well, the mother-in-law completely ignores the woman and her baby and just barges past her, completely ignores the stroller, and is like standing over the stroller. Of course, the mom's like, "Hey, move, get out of the way. Did you not see us standing here?" Well, the lady, instead of, "Oh, I'm sorry," decides to get smart with the lady and called her like trailer trash or something like that. And then it just escalated and they went off.
Yeah, and it got even worse because there was a black lady there who both of the mother-in-law and the daughter or daughter-in-law, the ones who were causing this chaos, were white. There's a black lady, they're screaming at her, and what finally set it off was she throws like her purse or something at the black lady and hits the employee that's trying to like calm her down and de-escalate. And that employee, when they say fight or flight, man, it was like a light switch, fight mode, straight.
Well, but at the same time, they broke the lady's glasses, knocked the mask off of her face.
I don't blame her.
It's on.
I don't blame her. She was trying to de-escalate, and they ended up on the floor in quite a tussle. But just, I don't understand this. This is something that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why even start something like in Bath and Body Works of all places?
People have this. I think there's this. Chaz, did you have something?
I just.
What were you about to say?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Back when we lived in the Northport area in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're at a gas station. I think we were heading to a show or something, taking the kids to my parents' house or something, so we can go to a show or something. But anyway, long story short, we're sitting at the gas station. Wife goes in to pay or get something out of the store. Well, it was spring break, ironically, and there's a party bus that parks, and a bunch of college kids get off. They're all drunk, obnoxious, having a good time. Whatever. So sitting in the truck, waiting on the wife to come back, and she comes, climbs in the truck, go, 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 go. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Okay, I pull out. She's like, I just bitch slapped somebody in this gas station. I'm like, okay. What the hell?
This sounds right.
I'm standing in line trying to pay, and she shoves me and says, watch where you're going. So I just, without even thinking about it, I just turned and bitch slapped.
Yeah, good for her.
I remember that.
She's like, the lady just stood there, eyes open, holding her face, just staring at me. I paid and walked out.
Yeah, not used to people actually standing up to her nonsense.
Yeah.
You don't start none, there won't be none.
With my wife's a ginger, and she has no soul. Yeah. So she has no problem putting somebody in their place.
I remember that story, and I think the way I don't know if the way she explained it to me, or it was either that or the way I interpreted it. I don't remember. But it was like on her and on your wife's end, it was just like a knee-jerk reaction where she just like turned around and smacked her before she even knew what she was doing. And it was kind of one of those things where you like someone throws you something, like think fast and you accidentally catch it, but you didn't even think about it. And so you just played it off like, yeah, what's up? And so she just like smacked the lady, played it off, and the lady was so shocked that she just had nothing for it.
She's going to have something to say about all this in this little story. Hopefully she'll drop it in the comment section so everybody else can, she can clarify the story or whatever.
Yeah, but, I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah. I mean,
what had happened was
twice now.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We'll know. We'll know it's you if.
Go ahead.
Say that again. I lost you, Chaz. What'd you say?
I'd forgotten about that story entirely until the moment I brought it back up. We hadn't talked about it probably since it happened. That's just
funny. I think that there's this societal phenomenon. I read about it. I've read about it a little bit from like just kind of like sociology, a couple sociology type books that I read. Maybe it was Malcolm McDowell or something. I don't know. But they talk about like people increasingly have this disrespect thing. Like so what if someone disrespects you? You know what I mean? Like people didn't, I mean, it's not, who cares? Like, who cares if someone says something untoward or someone cuts you off in traffic? But we've developed this culture today of like, oh, no, you don't. I'll go back to Rikers for 20 years just to prove my point.
And not just disrespect though, but entitlement as well. That they kind of go like hand in hand. Like you see a line and you decide, this doesn't apply to me. Yeah, a police officer, pulls you over and, hey, this doesn't apply to me.
Right.
We live in a society of rules, and don't get me wrong. I mean, some of them are ridiculous, but
yeah. And so, you have a lady saying, hey, you're standing kind of close to my kid. If you and we were in, the line's back there or whatever, something like that. As benign as that is, people, there's a lot of people in America today that just go red. Like, how dare you request that I do something that I don't immediately want to do at this second? It's crazy, dude.
How dare you point out my impoliteness?
I will fight you.
Yeah, that's like the old timey pulling off the glove and slapping somebody with it.
On this hill, I will die.
I'm going to start carrying gloves with me.
Yeah, you sir have embarrassed me. No, I mean, I got to admit though, working at Bed Bath and Body Works, I'm getting them mixed up. It would be a bad job to begin with.
Yeah.
So like, I don't blame dealing with just nasty customers all the time. So I'm sure this has been building up for a while, but I don't know. I guess with college educations now, that's about what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Is like, that's what's worse about it is like half the people that work jobs like that now, they've already been to school. Some of them have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees in a field completely unrelated to retail. It's like, this person's got a bachelor's in engineering. This person's got a master's in business, but nobody could get a job out of college. So
tuition keeps getting more expensive, and it keeps like college degrees keep meaning less and less. I feel like unless you go to like an Ivy League school or something.
I think one of yours and my classmates from high school. You were off seeking your fortune across the sea. I was still back in our hometown at the time, and one of our classmates graduated college and passed the bar. She passed a bar exam.
Huh.
She was She was a lawyer, and she still had to come back home and work at a restaurant serving tables for like 6 months until she got into something. Like, I mean,
well, what law firm would hire a 17-year-old kid? And in good conscience,
21-year-old,
after college or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, right. But the way you explained it, it's like she got past the bar exam while she was still in high school. Is how?
No. She went to college, finished college, law school, passed the bar. And so she was like, early 20s, I guess, 23, 24 or whatever. And still had to come back home after college with, probably 6 figures in debt, I would imagine.
And that's another thing, the debt from like student loans, because who can afford that out of pocket? But one of the other things, like the flip side of that, is people getting college degrees, but really not being worth a damn when it comes to the job that they have, like the field that they have a degree in. Like I was working for a magazine. I was like art director or something like that. And they hired a like graphic designer kind of, but fresh out of school. And I sat with him and just kind of went over like some basics just to see what the skill set was, everything. I didn't even get to interview the guy. And he didn't know the most basic things in Photoshop. Like, really elementary. I mean, stuff that you can download Photoshop and figure out by yourself over the course of a day. Didn't know. And he had a bachelor's degree in graphic design. Same thing with Illustrator. It just blows my mind. Yeah,
it's because, I mean, ASE certified. Okay, to some people, that just means everything. Oh, I've got my master certification, ASE master certification. Yeah. Well, when I ran my shop, I didn't care. I would tell somebody I would wipe my ass with it. I've met so many people that have a master's certification with ASE that literally can't tie their shoes.
Yeah, it's
they can theoretically take an engine apart, but they can't comprehend how to put a hubcap back on a wheel.
Yeah, it's like a production line. A lot of these schools, it's just kind of like get them in and get them out, make the money off of them, and
What I was getting at is some people are just better test takers than they are.
That too.
That's true.
Application.
Yeah.
Some are theory, some are application.
I think that the idea of college is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it was up until a certain point a very good thing. Now it's a 4-year party, or really a 7-year party. They don't want you graduating in 4 years. They say, take all kinds of classes, take a nice array of classes. And they say that so that you can be well-rounded. Well, I mean, underwater basket weaving, and
you don't have to know what you want to do right off rip. Just feel it out,
Yeah, feel it out. Spend 10 years in college.
Excuse me, teacher. As the only college student here, what they're actually trying to do is they want you to graduate with a degree and a certificate. So they want you to get your degree, but they want to certify you in something else. So it's just a business, dude. They're trying to just sell people more stuff. It's really crazy.
They want you to stay as long as possible. In my
I say that in that I'm the only college student here. That's because these two already have their degrees. I'm just well below the bar. Well, I'm a slow learner.
But you also know what's currently going on, so that's a good insight.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I think that people today, if I was graduating high school today and considering college, and if my kid was, or if I was giving someone advice, honestly, unless you're going into like architecture or a STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, college is, I'm sorry, this is unpopular opinion, I guess. College is largely a waste of time. You can learn so much about just about anything from freaking YouTube.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because what I do right now, I'm a promotions manager, and So like basically I run a bunch of, all the promotions and like station promos and commercials for clients around town, all that kind of stuff. And I don't have a degree in that at all. Like my degree is in linguistics. I have a bachelor's in linguistics. I taught myself how to do all this stuff and just wanted it and got into it and just kind of made my way. I'm not where I necessarily like to be, but you can. When I started, YouTube didn't have the resources that it has nowadays, so it's insane what you can teach yourself if you want it bad enough.
Well, I'm going for a degree in computer programming, and our boy Elon Musk just moved his plant to Texas. So
yeah, well, that's one of those.
Job out there.
That's one of those STEM things that he was talking. So things that you need to, have an education in. So. Right. But yeah,
yes
but
and no.
I wonder who's better served. The kid who goes 6 figures into debt, the kid who goes 6 figures into debt learning music theory. He has his bachelor's degree in music theory. Yeah. Or the kid who goes right out of high school and begins an apprenticeship with a welder. Let's take something dirtier than that. A plumber. An apprenticeship with a plumber, works for 2 years, maybe gets some kind of certification, whatever, goes to some technical school to get some whatever that takes 6 months, and he can pay it cash because he's been making 30 to 40 grand right out of high school,
and then becomes a journeyman.
35. By the time he's 35, 35 years old, he's a master plumber who owns his own business. And by owns your own business, what's the overhead on plumbing? Like, you get the PVC crap, you get your tools, maybe you get a van to keep it all in. Your overhead is like nothing. And now he owns his own business. Maybe he takes on a worker so he can be home half of the week, and
they'll never be able to sub it out overseas.
Right. Nobody will ever be able to tell him his hours or fire him. I mean, who's better off?
Yeah.
At the same time, that can't be said for everything. Because look at mechanics.
No.
How many? No. Well, hold on.
Right. No,
how many cars are they phasing out to bring in with electric cars? You're talking two completely different animals. People that work on electric cars have a completely different mindset than people that work on combustion engines. It's
which
two
is true.
Separate worlds.
But you can also, if you want, you can learn that as well. You continue your education.
Well, what do I tell the people that have been doing this for 40 years and we're hoping to retire, but there are fewer and fewer and fewer combustion cars, and they don't have the technological savvy.
Combustion cars are still 95% of the cars on the road. So
depending on the market. Depending on the market,
but dude,
you live in Texas.
I'm not saying they're going anywhere. I'm saying it's a legitimate concern. That's why you're not seeing a lot of new technicians and mechanics. That whole industry, case in point, I still haven't gotten a call on my truck.
I disagree. I think you're not seeing people go into that because everybody wants that easy job, because everybody wants to be a freaking YouTube influencer. Everybody coming up wants to be a YouTube influencer, or they want to be what is it?
Famous, all that crap.
I swear, like one in two people that I met during my undergrad at college were either studying psychiatry as a bachelor's degree,
or
is
liberal arts.
Worthless. Well, I think half the people that I met was like, "Oh yeah, what's your major?" And it was either psychiatry or forensic science. Like, they all wanted to be CSI or some kind of psychiatrist. It's ridiculous.
So here's a fun fact, completely off topic. So, like a couple weeks ago, we had that whole Texas blunder thing. We lost power, lost water, ERCOT this, they report to the Texas legislature, blah, blah, blah. Who are you going to get mad at? So did some digging, and it's just like, screw it. Maybe I'll run for, a state representative or something like that. I wonder what they make. Did you know Texas only pays their legislature $7,200 a year?
What?
Yeah,
That's
I think
awesome.
a lot of states are like that. I think
No.
most states, they don't pay very much because it's very part time. I don't quote me on that, but I was
They get
under
a
the
flat-
impression that they were less.
Yeah, they get a flat fee of $7,200, and then they get a per diem per day that they're actually in session.
Well, that's good.
yeah,
Can you imagine how
per
this
diem
country
per
saw
day
it.
that
Great.
over the year adds up to like 200 grand or something?
No. This is state legislature. Not the
I'm
federal.
joking, man. I'm joking.
I just thought it was neat.
You know what else I thought was neat? And speaking of jobs that people aren't qualified for, not posting Justice League before the release date.
God.
How
Oh my
do you
God.
need a degree to do that nowadays? That's a slip up. So
Apparently,
the Snyder cut Parrish of the Justice
What
League.
happened?
We talked about it before. Well, Chaz,
Yeah.
you'd be the one to explain this because you know all the details. I just kind of read about it briefly.
okay. So Tom and Jerry came out last week. By the way, that is the biggest waste of 2 hours you will ever experience.
Obviously.
Mind blown. I never would have thought that.
atrocious.
Yeah, that's
However-
that meme with the the different levels of enlightenment. That's like the bottom. Tom and Jerry sucks. Whoa.
The movie. Anyway, so a couple days ago, somebody at HBO screwed up. And the people that were on the app and went to select Tom and Jerry to watch Tom and Jerry instead got chapter 1 of Justice League Snyder Cut that's not supposed to come out until the 18th.
Oh, so they were watching like the actual movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I will say, this is a quick thing out there. Anyone who's going to go and try and find it, just give up because it's not out there. It wasn't even up long enough for the whole thing to run. So if someone was recording it or whatever, because I tried, I wanted to watch it so that we could talk about it on the show.
As soon as I found out about it,
I was spoilers out.
Yeah.
We could get the scoop on everybody
Yeah.
else.
Put the Chaz spoiler face on the thumbnail. Let everybody know.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
That ties back into the last thing. Chris, HBO, Chris would like a job. And he's more than, I promise you, you won't have a mess up like that.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd want to be in charge of that so much. But yeah, well, what were you going to say, Parrish?
I'm imagining, two guys just sitting in front of their computers, their cubicle or whatever. And, John turns around and says like, "Hey, Bob, you ready to go get a drink after we clock out?" "Nah, man, sorry, I got to work late." It's just Tom and Jerry is about to post up. I gotta get that live so people can stream it. Oh yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, you know what? Forget this. Nobody's going to watch this movie anyway. Well, I'm just going to post up the Snyder cut of the Justice League. Because nobody's going to see it. Because who's going to watch? Because who's going to watch Tom and Jerry? Yeah, do it. You won't.
Yeah,
do
no
it.
balls.
Hey,
no balls.
Do it. First round's on me.
Yeah.
And he says, "Whatever, dude. There's going to be like 5 kids watching this. Nobody's going to pick it up. Let's go." Yeah. And here comes Chaz and his family and like 3 other people across the United States watching that movie.
I was going to say like HBO's like, HRT team, like the decked out tactical squad that protects all of their, intellectual property or whatever is deployed instantly. They're dropping from like drones.
Busting through the windows. Hop, 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 hop. What movie was that? Is that like Blues Brothers or something? They're like, hop, 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 hop.
I'm trying to remember. That's I cannot remember. I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Oh, I feel old.
Yeah. Anyway.
My mind went straight to the Wizard of Oz. But yeah. So, but was this, maybe it was like a marketing ploy just to get people really excited about it? Because I know if you were looking in Google Trends for like the past, 24, 48 hours, I guarantee you there was a spike for Snyder Cut leak download. Guarantee it. Be a pretty genius plan.
I imagine it would be really tough. I would think that it'd be really tough to market a movie that was already made, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago, something like that?
17,
Maybe longer than
yeah,
that.
so 4 years, something like that.
Okay, so a movie that came out 4 years ago and was roundly panned
Yeah.
worldwide and didn't do so well. And like, how do you make people want to come back and give that a second shot? It'd be a tough sell, man.
Yeah, well, I think it's enough that the original director is getting like his because that just doesn't happen, and the fact that the fans kind of won out with demanding it, but hopefully there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I hope it's great.
We'll see what
I really
happens.
do because I was always a big fan of DC.
What you got, Chaz?
Here I am again, completely off topic, tangent. Sorry,
as usual.
So. You mentioned I bet it's up on Google Trends or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'll check it. So I pull it up, and so I'm just scrolling, boom, 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 boom. Like number 8, Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, what the hell's with Matthew McConaughey? Considering a run as Texas governor. What?
Oh yeah, I did hear that rings a bell. Oh man,
in other news that of things that are absolutely never going to happen.
I were his campaign manager. He would have to throw in that all right. I mean, he would get it. That's all there is to it.
A lot of things that people don't know is like he's a professor at the University of Texas. I mean, he's like a 40% shareholder of Wild Turkey Bourbon. I mean, it's
nice to
he's
have
about as Texan as you can get.
Nice to have fame and fortune, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I could be wrong. I'm sure that there's some intellectuals in Hollywood, a few, but I think that most of these people they play smart people on TV and movies enough that they think that they are actually like smart.
Well, and smart enough to get like financial managers to move make the right decisions, because that's what I would do.
Here's a stack of cash, make me money.
Yeah, exactly. All I want to
drink
see is
a lot
returns.
of Wild Turkey bourbon.
Yeah,
I think I'll buy it.
What sort of what portfolio would you be considering? Like, what would you like your how would you like it divided between like bonds and securities? Or I like Wild Turkey. Okay, we can work with that. All right. What else?
Well, I like Wild Turkey.
I always wanted to be a teacher. Are we talking about this? You know what? I think we can make that happen.
We need to diversify your investments, Mr. McConaughey.
But I like a lot of Wild Turkey.
Well, I like Wild Turkey. I like bourbon. Maybe we can get some Wild Turkey. Okay, yeah, we'll look into that, Mr. McConaughey. Well, I also like a Lincoln. I like Lincolns. Okay, all right. Maybe we should. You know what? I'll. Yeah, we'll circle back to this. Anywho,
so I went.
I gotta drop this one.
Go ahead.
So HBO leaks to Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guy that let that happen, his spirit animal was a potato.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with that.
On that day.
Yep. So this past weekend, work has been kind of stressful, and the wife was like, "We need to get away." So we went to Kennedy Space Center. First time I've ever been there, and I actually have some videos that I'll be posting up on our Instagram. Just few things that were kind of cool there. I did some little bit of narration, a little bit of tour, little personal Omega tour at Kennedy Space Center. So this next topic that popped up about the Air Force reverse engineering parts for the B-2 bombers, I thought was pretty interesting. There was my mind just completely went blank, but whenever the military puts out a request for, what is that called? Do you guys remember off the top of your heads?
Contractor.
It's something like that, but they put out a request. I can't remember, but like they
requisition.
Maybe. But anyways, they put it out there. We need this. It could be like, we need a new weapon, like what Sig Sauer and all those companies are doing right now. Or it could be what they're doing, which is they need some sort of cooling fin, something or another for the B-2 bomber, the stealth bomber, right? So
I think that's actually how they described it.
Yes, exactly.
Verbatim.
Right. Cooling fins, something or another. Yeah. And it's funny because Lockheed was who, designed this. And I don't know if they just lost the designs or what, or maybe they don't have the manufacturing process, or maybe it's an inefficient manufacturing process. But it's interesting, this whole reverse engineering thing, because this isn't the first time that I've heard about this. I know that for the like the Saturn V rockets, the engines on those were all handmade, and we couldn't just make them now. We would have to go back and reverse engineer them to be able to make them, because either the designs are lost or the technology to make those engines is just, we don't have it anymore because it's dated. It was high tech then, but it's not anymore. I just think that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's strange. Well, I mean, you can see how things like the pyramids of Giza get built, like, the whatever technology they used or methods they used are so long ago, and we're in a lot of ways so advanced that we just kind of lose that.
I'm not even that. Why are we? It's like, I can appreciate the investment they made in the planes, and they want to keep them going. I can appreciate the whole, okay, let's do a reverse. But why are they doing that? Why are they not seeking an alternative? You know what I'm saying?
For those, for the planes
40
themselves?
years old. I'm sure you could revamp the system, come up with a better, more recent,
modern,
up-to-date system, more modern system.
So they are designing a new bomber off of that flying wing concept that is in the works. I can't remember off the top. I don't know if it's B-3 bomber or whatever, but it's something that's in the works. Not going to be out for a while, of course, but since they have this fleet that cost however many billions of dollars, and there's only, I can't remember, not many of them, like less than 10, I think. They still want to keep them running, and those things go through maintenance like every year or something. They have to or every 5 years they have to strip off all that coating, the stealth coating, and reapply it. And it's expensive to upkeep these things, but I guess they just want to get the most off of that huge investment. But it's just interesting.
Yeah.
The military, the high tech stuff, having to reverse engineer their own technology.
And if there's one thing that the American government and the American military really harps on, it's not wasting their investments and their money.
They will nickel and dime you for everything. Like those $1,500 toilet seats and
$20,000 hammers.
I want to clarify for our viewers and our listeners out there, though, just a clarification that you were referring to B2s, not the B-52s, the singers of the song Love Shack.
That is correct. And though it would be pretty cool to reverse engineer them. I'd like to see that, actually, if we could come up with that tech.
I mean,
it sounds like you're getting into a new Hannibal Lecter story. No,
I mean, we already have people, growing hearts and ears and stuff from stem cells on mice, and why not just go for it? I mean, it's not like people care about the B-52s enough to where if something went horribly wrong, it would be like, oh, this ethical issue. It's like, well, I mean, it's probably for the better anyways, but it was cool to try.
Screw it. Nobody cares.
And speaking of ethical issues and people growing body parts out of parts of their body that they shouldn't be. How's that
for California,
boys?
Yeah.
How's that for a segue, boys?
Beautiful.
What's the name of that
What's going on in France?
It's 1084, Assembly Bill 1084, California.
Yeah. So
what is that?
Holy!
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
the gender neutrality.
So
bill.
Right, it's California. That it's not actually a law yet. It's just been proposed. But what they want to do for department stores over 500, I think, employees. So when you go into a store, like say you walk into a Target or something like that, and you want to get clothes for your child, and you look at the signs, and there's boys and girls and teens and whatever. So where to go to get clothes, for your kids, what sizes, what gender, they want to do away with that. So not even just the signage that's boys, girls, even just having the clothes being separate. So if all the boys' clothes are like here and the girls' clothes are over here, and we're talking not adult, just children's stuff.
Boys too.
Yeah, they want it to be completely just mixed.
Unisex.
Yeah, gender neutral. So, which obviously begs the question, boys and girls, especially once they get to a certain age, are shaped very differently. And there's a lot of guys out there that are going to be made fun of in middle school when they come wearing their like booty shorts or their super tight jeans or halter tops or just whatever's in style because they didn't know any better and they just, it kind of fit, I guess.
Yeah, I've got so many. That's so much going on in my head right now. I don't even know what to say first.
Yeah.
Or if I can.
Parrish
personally, I don't know that it's that big of a deal to just take down boys and girls sections and have them intermixed or whatever. Because like if you think about like the clothes aren't going to change, I assume. Like the clothes and the toys aren't going to change. They're just not going to be separated between boys and girls. Blues over here and pinks over here. And so that's like, I'm kind of whatever on that. California is weird. That's fine. They can do that. What I'm more interested in is what this turns into. So that's what's happening today. But tomorrow, when they get rid of sizes, because it's fat shaming.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Body shaming.
Wear an extra large versus a small or a small. Well, I'm not small. I'm just good. I'm not fat. Exactly. So now next we're gonna have like you guess your size.
So I'll tell you.
Maybe everything's just a frock.
I'll tell you
and
what's
it's all
next.
one size.
And by next, I mean included in this bill. It also includes online stuff. So now if you're shopping for something online where you can't even try it on, you just have to guess, I suppose.
But I mean, it's like, how are you going to tell the difference? How are they going to differentiate that? Because a teenage girl is going to have a significantly different figure than a teenage boy.
Yeah.
How in the hell are you going to differentiate?
Yeah, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's. I mean, it'd just be like Amazon. You order it, send it back, and it goes to the dump. I mean, whatever. Your guess is as good as mine. It's like, I don't know. Like, the craziness.
It's like, I can understand the toys. Okay. I can understand the toys. And maybe if it's not male and female, but masculine and feminine, if they did something like that, maybe I could go with that. But
it just blows my mind. Not even because of the whole gender neutral thing, that's like a whole different topic. It's just the feasibility of people being able to buy clothes in that situation. Like how girls I know have a hard enough time, especially in those ages, finding clothes that fit because they're all different sizes. And a 13-year-old can be 5 inches taller than another one because of puberty and whatever the heck. It just blows my mind. I don't know how it's gonna. I don't know how. I don't get it.
It baffles me, dude. Because it's like my kids right now, my teenagers. They, there's like a 6 size range depending on the brand that they wear.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
And then how are you going to differentiate with sizes?
Right, speechless.
Because women and men have different sizes. How is that going to work?
Yeah, I know. I know. Tell me this isn't going to just blow back on them. I mean, all of these changes that they're trying to force through and all this political correctness is eventually going to, it's going to blow back on them like nuclear sand to, I don't know, France or something.
Chris, can I offer something up? This is the strangest thing to me. Okay, so to be completely honest, totally forgot about the California boys and girls sections thing.
Mhm.
Okay. And I was really proud of myself because I felt like I had a strong segue into talking about the radioactive Sahara dust returning to France.
Mhm.
But somehow, so what I don't understand is, and I thought that was a pretty sharp segue for that, but somehow the segue for radioactive Sahara Desert Dust returning to France is also this a suitable segue for Boys and Girls California.
Yeah.
Being intermixed. I don't know how that same segue works for both of those, but yeah, I thought that was fun and interesting.
I mean,
just to myself. Maybe I'm the only one.
It's true. And that's because these things are dangerous for a long time. There's a lot of fallout, should we say, from these decisions.
There's going to be a lot of fallout from both.
So everybody out there who's wondering what the heck we're talking about with this dust situation. Algeria back, for a while was a territory of France. And of course, when you're in the 60s and everybody's creating nuclear bombs and stuff like that, it's the Cold War era, you want to test your arsenal, but you don't want to do it in your country. I mean, that's just silly. You want to do it in Algeria instead. So of course they tested all their stuff there, but now I guess all this sand, with like the same way we had a sandstorm come from Africa to America a couple years back. I guess the same thing's happening with France with irradiated sand.
Have you guys ever been in a sandstorm?
It sucks.
Like a legit sandstorm?
It sucks.
No.
I will say this, sir. I had never experienced it until I'd moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
My job, it took me north to Amarillo. Go there, do what I got to do, turn around. I'm heading home with a coworker. It's 4.5 hours before we get back to our area, and it just suddenly starts getting dark. Like, what the hell? And I look out. I see this tractor out in the field. They got a bunch of cotton fields and stuff out here. So, and he's out tilling up the ground. So I'm just thinking, okay, this guy's just making a mess. Holy shit, that's a lot of dirt. Next thing you know, with all seriousness, I could not see 3 feet in front of our van. Could not.
Yeah.
But it's out here. 75
it's bad.
Yeah, you think that's bad? Try being outside of the vehicle in it.
No, we had to pull over, dude. We couldn't see. The winds were
you think that's bad?
Our personal van, nearly over. We had to pull over. Couldn't see the van. It was dark, like legit. It was like it was nighttime outside. We could not see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Out of me. I had never experienced something like that in my life.
Yeah.
If you think that's bad, try experiencing it outside of the vehicle. And if you think that's bad, try experiencing that with radioactive dust.
Yeah.
And if you think that's bad, try experiencing that with radioactive dust and you speak French.
If you think that's bad, try experiencing that outside of the vehicle with radioactive dust and you speak French and you're the naked cowboy just leaving jail in his whitey tighties.
There you go. And because that's all you have to wear. They're not going to give you clothes to wear.
Could you imagine getting home and like your whole body's kind of pink from the sand pelting you, except for like the tan line, except it's just the red line?
Yeah. Well,
you think he had a good sense of humor about it? He was like, all like the Zohan and just disco, disco.
What do you think it would be like pelted with sand, or would he look like Edward from Twilight, where it'd be like because he'd be glowing?
Yeah. Ooh.
The radioactive.
That's true because the sand would probably embed in his pores, but it's radioactive at the same time. Oh, man, we might be onto a movie idea here. I kind of like it.
Call this Naked Cowboy.
We're gonna have to get his cell
he
number.
Needs to earn some money for bail, so he might be willing to do it for a deal.
No, I'm sure that dude's so loaded too. Unbelievable's been on so many like late night shows and whatever the heck else. What a stupid thing that he just played perfectly well. I mean, just nailed it. Something original.
Nailed it.
Well, guys, that's about time here. We gotta try and stay within the limits so we can make our IGTV episodes. So, anybody have anything to say at the end? Anything else? Anything that you wanted to throw out there that you might not have gotten to say?
Make sure you spay and neuter your pets. I'm glad that it's probably a good thing I wasn't here last week, because I would have had a lot worse things to say about Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, geez, and more's come out since then.
And boy, did the shit hit the fan with that guy.
Yep. So,
and I found my way off the milk carton, had some family emergency stuff, so I missed last week, but we're all good. We're back in action and rocking and rolling. So
heck yeah.
Y'all have a good week.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys too. And for you guys out there, we'll see you next week, episode 19 of the Omega Dudes. Check out our Instagram. You can find us at the Omega Dudes. Same thing on Facebook. I think it's just facebook.com/the Omega Dudes. Until next week, stay safe, stay away from irradiated French dust, and don't panhandle in your britches.